I'm Heimbach. Good to have you back. In this video, I want to talk a bit about a module a friend of mine designed. Metabolic Devices Coherence. Now, I don't normally do module tutorials, but since Erik is a friend and I really enjoy playing with this module, here's how it works. At its core, Coherence is designed to create order out of chaos. You have two inputs from which Coherence extracts gates, triggers, and even pitch signals. So let me show you how this works. First of all, I'm going to take a slope from maths and put it into input 1. Now I'm going to take a second slope from maths at a lower tempo and putting it into Coherence input 2. And now you can see it's already starting to generate gates here, here, and here, and also pitch from here. So how does this sound? I'm going to use these to trigger the optomix. One here. And I'm going to take this output for the second optomix strike input. Why am I using these two outputs? This one because it's affected by the divider, and this one called the remainder output because it's not affected by the divider. It will go high every time the counter moves forward, but doesn't spit out a signal. So you get tick, tock, tock, tick, tock, tock, tick, tock, tock, tick, tock, tock. A little waltz going on, which I enjoy because it's not that easy to patch up 3/4 rhythms in modular. But with this module, it's pretty damn quick. So let's get some signals going. I'm going to use the anti-oscillator 1 MAM input here. And I'm going to use the second MAM output into optomix here. So this is our strange little imperfect waltz, which we can now adjust using the coherence knob. Which gives a little shuffle. Another interesting rhythm. As you can hear, there's a lot of variation just in these small turns of the coherence knob. Remember, we are using two unrelated signals, and Coherence creates something related out of them. Now, we can simply switch these inputs using this button. So now, these are reversed. And back. This is almost like chorus and verse. One of the nicest things about the coherence is the pitch output or stepped voltage output. It's basically a very musical sample and hold. To get more interesting results from the pitch output, I like to use the weird noise ring. This has already step voltages, so it's a more rich signal for which Coherence can interact with. Coherence likes sloped signals, not so much stepped signals, because these can result in unpredictable results. So I'm going to add a little slew to the noise ring. Taking output 2, put it in maths, and putting it into input 1. And So now you can see it goes like this. And now I'm using this as the master clock for second slope, output 4 on the maths, for the noise ring. So now the noise ring is clocked. You can see how it falls and rises here. And I'm also going to use this as the signal number 2 for coherence. Well, this already looks very interesting. So let's hear how it sounds just as a pitch source. I'm going to use the weird oscillator. Going to use one of its saws into the boogie filter. And I'm patching the boogie filter into the aux in the Optomix so we can hear it. I'm offsetting the noise ring out via the DC knob, so I get deeper tones. Deeper notes, I mean. This output is sending out a gate every time a new note is triggered. So I'm using that to control the boogie filter. This is already rather nice. So you can have different sources for pitch. And these are selected here. You can even press multiple. I'm not using a quantizer here, but you could of course patch one in between the stepped output and the weird oscillator. But I often like how the coherence pitch output sounds on its own. It's just very musical. Of course, coherence is fully modular, meaning you can modulate almost everything. You can modulate the coherence knob, plus you've got an attenuator for that. You can reset the divider using this button or using this CV in. Or you can change the division using this in. So let's get a simple rhythm going and I'll show you how this works. This output is triggering the boogie filter. This output is triggering the envolator, which is triggering the Borg filter. So now I'm trying different divisions. So now I'm using this output to re-trigger the divider. Which creates all these nice bursts. And now I'm going to try different divider settings. And now I'm going to try something that I haven't tried before. I'm going to use the pitch input to modulate the divider. So now I'm going to use this output to reset again, and let's see what happens. As you can hear, I'm kind of getting lost every time I play with this module, because there's so much you can do. And there are a lot of options to create rhythms and melodies from all kinds of signals. It's easy to use coherence as the heart of a complex patch, because you get a lot of different signals out of two you put in. I'm sorry that I'm not going into the technical details, why this button does this when this does this, because I think that's what the manual's for. The way I use modules is rather intuitive. Just patch everything together and see what happens. And Coherence really enables that, simply because you can have all these buttons which make changes so quickly, which is fun and really playable in a live situation. And once you've spent some time with it, you'll get a feel for the sweet spots of the module, where you can get predictable results easily. Because Coherence is an all-analog module, you can take it to extremes, like using it at audio rate. Coherence is also handy to extract rhythm and pitch information from an audio signal. So that's it for my video on the Coherence. I probably left more questions unanswered than answered them, but I wanted to demonstrate how much fun this module is to play with. If you have more questions on the Coherence, leave them in the comments below, or have a look at the website of Metabolic Devices. There's a really nice mouse-over manual which explains every function. Thank you all for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.